Microsoft Outlook 2016 main screen. Here at the top we have our tabs and ribbons, and above those we have the quick access toolbar. So let's first have a look at the tabs and ribbons. The different functionality is arranged on each of the ribbons in groups of icons. So we can see here that on the Home tab ribbon we're looking at the first group of icons all about new, so creating a new email or other new items within Outlook. And then we have a group of icons that are grouped underneath the word delete, and then respond, etc. So all of the icons are grouped together to try to make it a little bit easier to find the functionality and tools that you need. To change the ribbons, we just click onto the tabs up at the top and they change. Now it's very easy to accidentally make these ribbons disappear, and that's done by if you accidentally double click on one of the tabs. So if I double click on the Home tab, the ribbon disappears. You can see that it's gone here. To get it back we can do either one click and it comes back temporarily for you to select the required function, but the moment that you click back outside the ribbon disappears, or we double click. So this is very easy to do accidentally, but you may also choose to do it to give you more room on the screen. Now next to the Home tab is the File tab, and the File tab is a little bit different. It does not give you icons, it gives you what's called the Backstage view. So I'm going to click onto the File tab, and you can see this is arranged quite differently to the rest of the tabs and ribbons. And I'll come back to that in a moment. To get back to the main screen, I can click onto the arrow and it takes me back. Above the tabs and ribbons you have the Quick Access toolbar, and the Quick Access toolbar is there whenever you are working with Outlook, and it doesn't matter which tab you click onto to change ribbons, the Quick Access toolbar remains. So it's very useful to be able to put some common tools onto the Quick Access toolbar so that you can access them at any time. And to do this we click on the drop down arrow at the end of the Quick Access toolbar. And we can see some very common functions and features, such as print, for example. If I click onto print, the print icon now appears. Let's put on reply and forward. So these will now remain there, whatever ribbon you're on. Now reply and forward also lives on the Home tab and ribbon. We can see them here. But it may be that you're on one of the other tabs and ribbons. So this saves you from going back onto the Home tab. You can just go straight to the icons up here at the top. And the reply or forward, that would reply or forward the email whichever you have selected in the background over on this side of the screen here. Now it may be that the item that you want is not shown in that drop down list. So what we can do instead is to search around for the icon. So for example you may find the delete icon up on here, and you would like to add that to the Quick Access toolbar. You just point at the icon, do a right mouse click and add to Quick Access toolbar, and it appears up on here. To remove it we can right mouse click on the icon and remove from Quick Access toolbar. So it's very easy to customise, and this is the same across all of the Office 2016 products. Now just coming back to the File tab for a moment and the Backstage view. So this view gives you different choices coming down the left hand side. Let's say for example we want to print. Now print now shares itself with print preview, so I'm going to click onto print. And what we have here are the print settings, so this is where I could choose a different printer. And on the right hand side I can see the email, and this is quite a blank email, it's just one that I'm using for a test. At the moment it would print in what's called memo style. If I change memo style to table style, it would allow me to actually print the inbox. This could be useful to use during meetings, for example, or when trying to allocate work out to others within your team. To go back to printing an email, we click back onto memo style. Other things that we can find in the Backstage view, if we come down to the bottom here, are options. I'm going to click onto options and it takes me to the options box. And most of it is fitted on the screen here. Part of it is missing at the bottom, just the OK and cancel button because of the screen sizing for capturing the images. Things that we can change in options, well, on the General tab, about halfway down, you can see here Office Background, and at the moment this is set as underwater. And in the background, if I just try to move that slightly, in the background we can see this underwater theme showing at the very top of Outlook. If you wanted, you could change that to a different style. For example, we could choose Lunchbox or Circles and Stripes. This allows you to customise it more to how you would like it to be. On the left hand side here, if I change to Mail, you have options for changing how your mail behaves. One of the common things you may want to change is how you're notified of a new email message coming in. I can see this down here under Message Arrival, and I have different check boxes. At the moment the tick is in the Show an Envelope icon in the taskbar. This would show a small envelope down in the right hand corner of the screen, which would let you know that an email is there, but you wouldn't know what that email is or who it's from. So what you may choose to do is display a desktop alert. And what happens is an email message comes in, a very brief form of it down in the right hand corner, which will display there for a set amount of seconds, which allows you to look and to see whether it's one that you would like to action right now. So that's a very common thing to change. You may want to change settings for the calendar. So on the left hand side here, I'm going to change the calendar. And I can see here that I could change my working hours. Further down, I could change my default reminder. So the default is it's set at the moment as 15 minutes. So any new appointment that I make 15 minutes before it's due to start, I would receive a reminder on the screen. And that's for all new calendar options. For each calendar option you could choose to change that to either none or a different set of minutes. But if I wanted to change it for all new appointments, I could do it here under default reminders. And I could change it, for example, to 0 minutes. So it's worth checking out these options. I'm just going to cancel out of this options box to bring me back to the screen. Now moving around the different parts of Outlook is done by down at the bottom left hand side. Now this is underneath what's called the folder list. The folder list is this pane on the left hand side which shows my folders within my email account. I've got 2 different email accounts here that I'm managing. So this is my first email account. And at the bottom there we have the navigation icon. So at the moment I'm on email. I could choose to go onto calendar, onto people or contacts, and onto tasks. So this is how we can move around the screen, and I'm just going to go back to inbox. We can also change how the actual email screen appears. So we have our folder list and we have our emails within the inbox. What you may choose to add is what's called the reading pane, and this would allow you to select an email at the top and then at the bottom part of the screen to have a look at the email message. And this is controlled via the View tab and ribbon. And it's about 2/3 of the way across here we have reading pane. So let's have a look at it on the right. So here I select my email message. Let's go for this one here. And on the right hand side I can read the actual message itself, the body of the text. You may choose instead to have the reading pane down at the bottom of the screen. So my emails are at the top and whichever one is selected is displayed down at the bottom.